welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Katie and this is my son Dexter. Today we're going to do a video on breastfeeding. So I figured this video would be a beneficial one to make for moms that are currently breastfeeding and moms that might breastfeed in the future. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so down below so you can see more of our awesome videos that we make. And let's just get into it. So the first part that I wanted to cover is positions of holding your baby while you're breastfeeding. So in the hospital, they show you one position of how to hold your baby. I'm gonna show you with my son's stuffed elephant. So the way they show you in the hospital is to take your dominant hand, hold the baby's head so your arm is cradling them the whole way like this. And you hold their head so you can manipulate their neck and head since they have no control. And you'll grab a hold of your breast and put the baby to your breast and hold like this. That way you're able to squeeze and massage the breast tissue so milk will come down, and then the baby can nurse and you can adjust their head and latch when they bite down. As they get older and have better neck control, what you can do is actually a cradle hold. So you can hug your baby like you'd be holding them normally, and then bring them down to the breast. They should be able to turn their head and latch appropriately, and then you can use your other hand to either squeeze the breast tissue or to just cradle your baby and like this. There's another position that you can hold your child. I never used this position. It was kind of cumbersome for me, but I know some moms are able to. You can do a football hold. So you take your baby and you cradle them in the same arm on the same side, and you take your other hand and squeeze the breast tissue while you manipulate their head and neck so they can latch and nurse this way. So you can hold them with just one arm close to your body. I feel like this position is easier if you're sitting, whereas the other positions you could do while you're standing as well. There are other helpful tools to help you position your baby while you're breastfeeding. I know for me, I needed them because breastfeeding is kind of hard to get a handle of, so I used this. This is a nursing pillow. It's called a boppy. I got this at Target. It comes with a cover that you can take off because sometimes babies will vomit all over the cover. So I've washed this one a couple of times, but you just take the pillow and you wrap it around your waist just below where your breasts are, and then you can take your baby and comfortably lay them on their side. It gives you a free hand, so if you have a hard time holding your baby and positioning their head at the same time, you can let the pillow hold their body weight while you manipulate their head and use your free hand to manipulate the breast. I still use this. It makes it much easier, especially since Dexter is getting so big now. But if you can make something like this with pillows or blankets, you can do that too. I just chose to buy this for the convenience of not having to find pillows and blankets to make it. It was already made for me. I have a couple other tools that I use for when I'm nursing out in public. First is this cover. It can be a swaddle or a blanket, both of which I've used it for. To use it as a nursing cover for myself, I just drape it across my shoulder like this, and then I'll take Dexter and just drape it above his head using my hand. That way it's not on him, he doesn't like that, and then I can be covered if someone walks past me. The other cover I have, this one can also be a car seat cover, but as you can see it's got rounded parts on the sides because you actually wear this one. To wear it, you just open it up, put one arm through and put your head through it, and then you just put the rounded piece over your shoulder like this. Then you can take your little one, stick them underneath the cover, and cover them completely. It'll keep them warm, keep the sun off of them, and you have the privacy of nursing out in public. So the next part I want to talk about is the advice that did and didn't work for me in terms of increasing my breast milk and what actually decreased my breast milk. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button down below. It really motivates me to make more videos you guys want to see. So to start off, first and foremost, make sure you take your prenatal vitamins. I know you've been doing it your whole pregnancy, but keep doing it. It makes good quality milk for your baby and ensures you both are getting the right nutrition. I use these prenatal vitamins that are gummies. I like them because they don't hurt my stomach like the pill form does. So I get those at my local Walmart. You can get them at any pharmacy or drugstore, or you can get them on Amazon. I just get them at Walmart. So I got a lot of advice from my family and friends on ways to increase my breast milk. Unfortunately, I tried all of them and they didn't work for me. What I have found that's worked for me is number 1, drinking lots of water. And number 2, doing exercise. So I started walking more. As a result, I started pumping more, and Dexter started to seem more satisfied when he would nurse with me. At that point, I was actually pumping enough that I could save it for later to use for Dexter's cereal or to actually use for breast milk bottles instead of formula bottles. So the next part I want to talk about is breast pumps and storing your milk. So we're going to start with storing your milk. Milk can be freshly pumped and sit on the counter for about 4 hours, or you can refrigerate it for about 8 days. You also have the option of freezing it in your refrigerator, and you can do that for up to, I think, 6 months, 6 to 8 months. So I refrigerate my milk so Dexter can have it when I'm at school and I'm not here, and I also refrigerate it so that I can use it for his cereal later on. Now let's talk about the pumps and the equipment that goes with it. I tried 2 different pumps. You okay? I tried 2 different pumps. One of them I like a little bit more than the other, but the other one is really good for when I'm at school. I'm going to start by talking about the 2 pumps that I have. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of them and the equipment that it comes with. The first one I'm going to talk about is my Maday Lacinato pump. It looks like this. You can charge it. It's battery powered. Yeah. It's battery powered, so you can charge it and take it with you. I use it for school, which is why I bought it. It's about $360 that you can find it on Amazon. This is the equipment it comes with. This is the equipment it comes with. It's got flexible flanges, and it comes with a piece of tubing here. Goes with it. And it just hooks up to the pump. And it came with these little bottles that go on it. So here's what the flange looks like. The top of it pops off, and you have the little membrane. And you have the base and the flange itself. You just attach it to the bottle, and you can actually use this bottle to store the milk in the fridge. I would not recommend doing it in the freezer though, because the milk will expand. We're gonna just use this balloon as a breast. So we're gonna say that this piece on the end is the nipple. You just take this over top of the nipple like this. And then once it's hooked to the tubing and the pump, you can turn it on and it'll just pump the breast of milk. The other pump that I have that I use is about $100. You can also get it on Amazon. These are the flanges for it. They're hard plastic, and the membrane can come out a little easier. It's not covered, and it has another membrane in the bottom. It's tangled, oh no. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It is the Amita Finesse. The only downside to this one is you have to plug it in to charge it, or to use it. It's not battery powered at all. And it also came with its own set of bottles, and I use these to store milk as well. You just connect it to the flange again, and these just snap on top. Like that. Then you can take the breast, put it on top, and then start the pump and it'll pump. So the pros and cons. This one is more expensive, but it gives you the convenience of actually going around and being able to move. The only problem is the suction on this one isn't the best. It can sometimes be a little uncomfortable, but the flange itself, this one, is flexible, so it's much more comfortable against the breast. It's just the suction of it is not comfortable, in my opinion. This one is less expensive. It's not quite as strong. It definitely gets the job done, but the flange isn't always the most comfortable thing because it's a hard plastic. So sometimes you can have like a red ring on the breast because it's a hard plastic. I like this one for home because it does its job. This one I like to take with me when I'm going to school or when I travel. This is the one that I take with me. Another piece of equipment that is really helpful to have when you're pumping is a pumping bra. So this is the one that I got at Walmart. It has holes in the front of it so the flange can fit through. So you just stick the flange in it like this, and then it'll just pump. Or you have the other one, same thing. You just stick the flange into the bra itself after you put it on, and then it'll hold the flange in place so you can move around and you don't have to actually use your hands to hold the flange onto the breast. The last thing I want to talk about is some self-care items. So nursing can be really stressful. It's really hard, especially when it's your first baby and you're not really sure what to do or if you're doing things right. But here's just a couple of things that I've done that work for me and that have made it much easier to nurse. First and foremost is nipple cream. So I know people have probably talked about it, you've probably heard about it. This one is lanolin. It's like wool wax. It's got this kind of consistency. It's kind of oily, waxy. You just put it on your nipples after you're done nursing your baby, but make sure you wipe it off before they nurse again. It's very soothing and prevents your nipples from getting chapped, because having a little baby just chomp on you all the time and then air dry, it can chap out your nipples. You can use that cream that I showed you or anything that's similar. You can find it at your local pharmacy or Walmart, or you can even order it on Amazon. The other thing that I would suggest getting is a nursing/teething necklace. You just wear this as mom, and then as your baby's nursing, especially when they get older, they like to grab at you, grab your face, grab your hair, they get distracted. Having this gives them something to do while they're nursing so they're not abusing you instead. The last tip that I would have in terms of self-care would be to just be kind to yourself and just know that you're not alone when you're struggling, and there's tons of help out there for breastfeeding moms. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I know breastfeeding can be very stressful. You want to make sure your baby's getting enough to eat, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any comments, questions, tips for other nursing moms, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye! Say bye-bye.